don't know if I'm in the camera, but here's the deal, all right? There ain't enough documentation on YouTube of putting an LS in a mini truck, all right? Everyone's doing their low riders, everything like that. We're building a race truck, full blown. Before we get into the truck though, we gotta do a cost breakdown. Also, that first clip, the sun is not in our favor, all right? That's okay, all right? The truck itself is a 1992 Isuzu Pickup. I got that for $700. Found it on Marketplace. Still had the original engine in it, everything like that. Was told it just needed a head gasket. So what did I do? I pulled the heads, ordered a gasket, everything like that. Yeah, the bottom end was completely seized and the oil was sludge and the crank was rust welded to the rods. So, you know, that's always fun. So pulled the engine, which was a hassle because I didn't have a engine crane at the time. So engine was out, everything was good. Trans obviously is tiny on these trucks, so wasn't gonna bolt to anything that I needed it for. I started looking on Marketplace because obviously everyone's doing LS swaps, you know, or K-Series was looking into that too. That was gonna be way too much money if I wanted to do it that way. Ended up finding an LS in Texas for $300, which it was just a short block with the intake. Nothing crazy. So I'm missing all the accessories except for the water pump, and you know, I have an intake, but it's not gonna fit on here. So we'll get to that later. Also found a transmission. It's got a TH400 in it. So should be pretty cool combo. Had to order a whole adapter kit for that, but that was only like, I think $80 or $90. So yeah, LS, friggin' bone stock 5.3 with a TH400. Had that sitting in my garage for a while, and then ended up going down a rabbit hole on eBay one night and ordered a sloppy stage 2 mechanics friggin' cam kit. Couldn't think of the word, right? So did all that, replaced all the seals, everything like that. So this thing's all brand new gaskets, new push rods, new beehive springs or bee something springs, sloppy stage 2 cam. So from all the videos I've seen, it should sound pretty nice. I also got some swap headers, and then I ordered S10 engine mounts. And yeah, the side that goes to the block obviously fits, but the bottom part of it that brings it to the frame does not fit. So I had to custom make some stuff for that with a Harbor Freight flux welder, which was pretty fun, but it works. So we're here now. I'm missing a lot of pieces. I just spent $1,100 on eBay, so hopefully those will be here soon, right? I got a new intake coming. Fuel lines, fuel tank, because I pulled the fuel tank on this thing the other day, and it was nothing but rust, completely beyond savable, because I was just gonna throw a pump in it. Now we're doing a fuel cell, so that'll be fun, even more race trucky. Yeah. Also got an ECU from Aces. You know, everyone, I don't got Holly money, okay? So Aces it is. And from all the videos I've seen on that too, and reviews and everything, it looks like it works really good. So I kind of got the harness set up where it needs to be, but obviously I still got to get the intake on, everything like that. A lot of work, but at least it's kind of set up. So yeah, truck was $700, engine was $300. Trans I got for $180. The ECU was $780. The engine mods / like seals, that was $860. And then everything I just ordered as far as the fuel system, the transmission, because it's missing some stuff, the intake, the exhaust piping, and then miscellaneous like engine parts, also wiring, you know, a lot of tiddly stuff. That was $1,130 on eBay. So, you know, that's always fun. Obviously not going for the best parts, but still somehow am going bankrupt on credit cards. Yeah. All right, so here she is in all her glory. The engine, honestly, hang on, wait for it. Not the best piece of equipment here, but it's pretty level, you know. I mean, for a flux welder job and some crazy ghetto engineering. As you can see down here, I had to make 1.5-inch spacers to go from the frame to the actual engine, and even then it is like pinned out. Not the best measuring on my part, but 1.5-inch spacers will get you right where you can hold at least the engine in. You can kind of see how the harness is kind of mocked up where I want it. These swap headers fit perfectly. They clear the steering rack perfectly. Same on this side. It gets a little risque when it comes to the old fuel lines. Good thing I'm redoing those, so I got to rip those out still. And then as we make our way around, you can kind of see back here the transmission, everything like that. I do have a 3D printer, so I've been testing different kind of ways of mounting the touchscreen with the ACES system. I also got my wires ran through the firewall at least. As far as it goes in here, the dash is completely stripped from behind it, so this thing is just ready to rip or friggin' blow the rear end out of it, because we're not changing that. We're keeping that stock rear end. I also got my my diagram here as far as wiring and fuel goes, because I needed to at least write it down so I knew what adapters and wires I needed and stuff. As you can see under here, TH400 fits kind of good. It's being held up by a piece of wood right now. There's that adapter kit. As far as fitment on the TH400 goes, I had to sledgehammer this firewall pretty good. It probably didn't need it as much as I did it, but I am glad that I did it more than I needed, because now it's pretty easy to get the bolts out. So like I was saying, the rear end is staying stock on this thing. Don't know how well it's gonna hold up or what power they're rated for, but from what I've read, it's a Dana 44. I don't know, that might be right, not sure. This is where the fuel tank was, as you can see by that bracket right there. Not there anymore, completely rusted out. The line's still got to get ripped out. The underneath of this truck is absolutely caked with dirt. So, but luckily for the truck, half of it is in my eyes now, so at least it's not weighing it down anymore. The back of the truck has turned into a junkyard, because with a single car garage, you know, kind of running out of room, everything like that. All said and done, I'm in this truck just under $4,000. I think we're at like $3,950. And yeah, it should be an absolute ripper. That should bring us right up to running it, getting it started, everything like that. But it won't include the coolant system, the shifter, or the drive shaft. So still got to figure that out after the fact. I feel very confident in finishing this thing under $5,000, which is awesome. This thing should be pretty fast. If not, it should sound really good for a little truck. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully future videos will be more energetic and more working on the truck. I've kind of done a lot of the hard work, you know, most work I could with what I've had so far. And yeah, thanks for watching.